Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just going to go take a bit of a walk. I got something funny on the map I want to sort of record and take a look at. And while taking the walk, I just want to go over sort of the state of the game after this current patch and how it kind of affects the average player, or what the game is like for like the average player coming in. So the patch dropped today. It fixed a few little things that are nice little fixes, like Noah's no longer preaching to us or whatnot right at the start when we log in. It did the odd fix here and there, but the one that a lot of people were sort of looking forward to or wanting to test out was that they reduced the hunter's noise while in the forest. So one of the common complaints is that hunting in the forested areas is really challenging. Basically, the deer herds are spooking well before you get the chance to see them, no matter how slow you're going. Now, people have different opinions on this, and some people think it's fine, but there's a whole lot that find it very difficult. And I'm no real rookie to these kind of games, and I have a hard time even on the easiest difficulty for it. So they came out with a patch for it, and I've been, putting it through its paces here, and not a whole lot has really changed in that regard. So I just kind of wanted to sort of run down on how the game currently is sitting. So first off, I'm really enjoying the game. I'm going to definitely kind of stick with it, and I'm looking forward to what the developers have planned for it. But if you're coming into this game as a like a new player, or just like kind of like an average skill player, you kind of want to know what you're sort of getting. And so the best way I can sort of describe it is, we'll just sort of describe the sport of hunting, right? So take the sport of hunting. It's this broad range sport with all sorts of like sub sports inside of it. So you got your rifles, your archeries, your crossbows, you got your big game, small game, you got predator hunting, you got the herbivore hunting, you got duck hunting and all the bird hunting, shotgun hunting, all sorts of different styles and sports within the sports, right? So you got the lure hunting, the spot and stalk, the ambush, all that sort of things. And sort of the best way I can describe this one is if a game developer um, was making an Olympic game, like the Winter Olympics or the Summer Olympics. Well, this game is sort of like if someone made an Olympic game but only put two sports in it. So it's got more than just two sports in it, really. But there are only two that are really sort of flushed out, that can kind of be, can suit like the average player. So I'll explain what I mean. So you can do all sorts of the different kind of styles of hunting in the game, but the two that are kind of fleshed out the most is one, anything to do with like long shots with the rifles, the ballistics and everything like that. The damage model is extremely good. It's really well done. All the different ammunition types and things like that. If you're a fan of big long range shooting, um, this has got you covered. If you're sitting up in an elevated spot and then shooting a long distance, playing the drop and all that sort of stuff, it's really good there. The other category that is really well done is, the need zone stuff, the ambush sort of thing, setting up and waiting and calling them in. Not really. The lures are okay in this one, but that's the two types of hunting that it's really got done well. And it's mainly a deer hunter's kind of game, so all the deer species, right? But the goats and the sheep are done okay too. Predators aren't really that fleshed out, as they don't really get aggressive, not that I've been able to see. And the small game, and it's just kind of like meh. And then the birds and stuff, the ducks need some work, and the pheasants need some work. And but right now it's mostly a rifleman's game and a deer hunter's game, and that's kind of the two styles of hunting that's kind of like most efficient. And if you're coming into the game, you don't have a whole lot of time. The styles that are working are those long range shots from an elevated position, and then ambushing a need zone. And when you're looking at the need zone, it kind of comes down to those water zones, right? Basically anything that's a wide open space, which turns into being lakes or rivers or things like that. Everything's got a drink. For the most part, everything's got the water needs zone. And then it has all the other sort of hunting styles. Like it does have the spot and stalk in it. It does have the lure calling in it. It does have pheasants and ducks. And like a few other styles you can do. Like it's got the shotguns in it. But they're just not flushed out at this point, really. You'll hear some people, say the spot and stalk is fine going through the woods, which brings me back to the first point. Yes, it works. Yes, it can be good. But for like the average player that has limited time, it's not a very efficient way to hunt in the game. Um, Staying on those waterways and ambushing the need zones and shooting the long range is just a much more efficient way, or efficient use of your time right now until they, work on the game a little more. Now that's not to say that people don't enjoy the spot and stalk and going through the woods. People say they'll go through it fine and get it, but you got to have a lot of patience, and I think you need more patience than the average person, especially more than me. I want to be able to do the spot and stalk, but I just run out of patience, and it does take a lot of time to go through really slowly here and approach them, where it's just easier just to collect their need zones of that herd and just figure out where they're going to be to drink and just get there ahead of time. Like it's way easier to do that, way more efficient. So that's kind of more fleshed out, right? So I'm hoping that they keep working on the spot and stalk side of things. And just as an example, I was just kind of playing here and just talking there, and I spooked, there's male elk 200 meters away or less, and I'm still on the easy setting. So, there's no line of sight there. I was hitting this way, and they were over that hill. The wind's not blowing at them or anything like that, and I was just doing the crouch, right? But this is on easy though, and they didn't give out any call or anything that I could hear. But I was talking. Well, that's just kind of an example. So instead of trying to chase them all over the place, you can just go ambush them early. But this is where I wanted to get to here, my Jeep. But that's all I really wanted to say. Just kind of make a little video in case a new player seen the video or someone looking to get into the game sort of want to know what they're getting into. Right now, that's the two fleshed out types of hunting, right? Ambush, and then the long range stuff. The rest it kind of works, but kind of stay tuned for that stuff. So this is my Jeep, and what I wanted to do was like get in the Jeep with the tree in it. So after the patch dropped, my Jeep somehow teleported here and has a tree in it. So I wanted to record what happens when I get in it. I don't know if like the game's going to explode or the Jeep's going to fly. I'm kind of curious. But I just wanted to sum up, before I do that, I'd get in the Jeep anyways. I just wanted to sum up my rambling here, my short little video. That's the two flushed out hunting, the long range and that waterways hunting, right? And what kind of makes me a little sad is I don't do the long range hunting. So basically, I come down to, depends what I'm doing, but it really comes down to me just ambushing the need zones and mainly the open areas, right, which turns out to be the water. And the other game, that does that, and pretty much that's what you do in that game, is Call of the Wild. So for the first time, this is kind of reminding me of that. It's all kind of forcing me in to go to those waterways and hunt the drink zones. So it made me a little sad, but I still like the atmosphere of the game, and I definitely like the ballistics and everything like it. It's got a lot of promise to it. But that just kind of occurred to me since I was hoping the spot and stalk would be really good for me and kind of like the average player. But now that the patch has dropped, I'm kind of like, oh, it didn't really improve. I mean, I try a bit more, but I mean, I was that elk herd that I spooked there. I've been practicing on it just to see like how difficult it is or how easier it got. And I mean, my success rate is only like 10% or something like that. It's just much easier. Just go to the waterways. But it just reminds me of playing Call of the Wild, right? You go to the waters and hunt that. So I got kind of bummed out when I realized that, but I do hope that I do look forward to all the stuff they're going to add, though. So I'll quit jibber jabbering and get in this Jeep and see if it breaks the game here. Yeah, it did. Oh, I think it really did break my game because it's like stuck on the loading screen now. It doesn't know what to do with me. That's not good. I watch my save game get corrupt or something like that now. Okay, so I had to do the old Control Alt Delete to get out of that one. Now I was wondering if the game was ever going to load again. But looks like I'm in, and hopefully nothing else broke. That's all I really wanted to say. I really like the game still, and I'm just hoping that they keep working on those other aspects of hunting and keep expanding on things. And I'm definitely looking forward to uh, what they're adding for weapons and all that good stuff. So hopefully it's helpful to someone, just to give you kind of like this my honest sort of view on it. Not everyone's going to agree on it, of course. There's a bunch of people that take it really seriously and people play the ranger mode and think it's the best thing ever. But I mean, that's a pretty small section. I think. I still think this game has a fairly large player base. It's kind of like in that mid-range average sort of player that's enjoying it, and this is sort of what you're getting. You're getting two really good flushed out sort of hunting styles, some that have been sort of sprinkled in there, and then a bunch coming down the road, hopefully. Thank you very much for watching, and in the next few days, it's going to resume with the different hunting videos and a few silly ones coming up. But thank you for watching, and take care.